Fascinating new poll out from Suffolk University, which tells us that 44% of likely voters believe Donald Trump is a racist. Just as interestingly, only 7% of Trump supporters think that Donald Trump is a racist. Democrats and black voters, probably not surprisingly, were most likely to say Trump was racist. 76% of Democrats and 83% respectively, suggesting that these panderings from Donald Trump to the black community recently have not been particularly useful. Let's take a look at some of the data from the poll. Do you think Donald Trump is a racist? As you see there, blacks and people who back Clinton and Democrats, the three most likely groups to believe Donald Trump is racist. Of the least likely groups to think Donald Trump is racist, we see those who are supporting Donald Trump, Republicans, followed by, it looks like, white people. White people disproportionately less likely to see Donald Trump as racist. Now, we've seen some similar results before. We had a Quinnipiac University poll recently, which asked people a slightly different question. Do you believe Trump's rhetoric appeals to bigotry? And I'll put those results up on the screen. This could be a more relevant question in figuring out how we should understand and analyze Trump's campaign. And as you can see there, Democrats much more likely than Republicans to believe Donald Trump's way of speaking appeals to bigotry. Non-white voters more likely than white voters to believe that the way Donald Trump speaks appeals to bigotry. The older you are, and if you're looking at this poll, it's sort of like the middle section of this chart, the older you are, the less likely you are to think that the way Donald Trump speaks appeals to bigotry. I'm shocked that only 44% of voters think that Donald Trump is a racist. And we've talked about the importance of racist policies versus a person is racist. And I think, Jason, that as interesting as it is to ask people what percentage of voters think Trump is a racist individual, it's much more relevant to the future of the country what his policies and proposals would do to non-white communities. Maybe this gets attention, but the important thing is, hey, if the guy is racist behind closed doors, but his policies would not disproportionately affect black people or brown people, maybe we wouldn't even care about his personal beliefs.
So I had an interesting conversation with someone this weekend, and the biggest thing they were slamming Trump on, or they were in favor of Trump, because the reason they were in favor of Trump was his healthcare plan and get rid of Obamacare. And then I retorted, and I knew this one person, and they hired mostly, admittedly, illegal immigrants from Brazil in their company.
The person you were speaking to regularly hires undocumented immigrants.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I proposed to him, so what are you going to do about your workforce? They're all going to get deported. And he said, I don't care.
I don't care, just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, that's odd.
I found that interesting.
Yeah, and this person was not suffering any kind of acute medical event when they said this to you.
Not that I knew of, but
okay,
you never know.
So listen, there's no doubt that Donald Trump is appeasing the racists. They will be his base as president. So at a certain point, this whole thing of, well, Trump doesn't really mean it. At a certain point, we have to say he said it enough so that he is appealing to a group of people that as his base will be expecting him to take certain actions. And on some level, we have to believe Trump is saying what he thinks or what he would try to do. Big shocker. Only 44% of respondents think Donald Trump is racist.